y'all get ready for another edition of Newz and Trendz with your host, Dave and Lynn.
Talk to him low. How could I possibly be inconspicuous? With my flow is f***ing ridiculous. That's my accent. See, I'm from the South.
Welcome. You're listening to Newz and Trendz with Dave and Lynn, and this is our Friday weekend roundup. My name is Leonard Young, CEO of National Black Guide, Black media specialist, all around good guy. I'm here with my partner, Dave.
Hey guys, I'm Dave Coker with Dave Mark Inc., promoter, event planner, and a gooder guy.
Good.
So, how's everything, sir?
Man, everything's good. You know, looking forward to the weekend. Hopefully some rest and relaxation, catch up on some New Year's cleaning that I didn't get to do during New Year's.
Yeah, there you go.
And,
yeah.
you know, other than that, take it easy. What about yourself?
Well, getting ready for the Eagles game. They play the Cowboys tomorrow night. And on Saturday night at 8:15, they'll be playing. So I look forward to that game. I'm not sure what to expect. The Eagles are already in the playoffs, so the Cowboys are already in the playoffs. So I don't know what they're going to be playing, how hard they're going to be playing. But that's going to be the highlight of my weekend, I think.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, I mean, you know, sounds good.
Yep, definitely. So what we're doing today, guys, we're, in light of Miss Betty White passing away, we mentioned her on Tuesday's broadcast. We wanted to kind of just talk about the most memorable characters on TV from different TV shows. You know, Betty White played the iconic Rose on
Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. It kind of escaped me because as I'm older than Leonard, and I go back to Mary Tyler Moore with Betty White. He's over here shaking his head.
Back.
Yeah,
That's
he's
too
shaking
far
his
back.
head, so he don't know nothing about that. So, but Rose was an iconic character that everybody really knows her for. So we're going to talk about the characters that are memorable from different TV shows, and I'm going to let Leonard start out this time.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with two that need no explanation. These were two that I love. One old and the other one used to be new, but now we old, so now they're both old. One is old, one is older. So the first one is going to be Fred G Sanford.
Okay.
And the G is for going places. And the next one is going to be none other than Mr. Martin Lawrence. You know, I think those are two where, I mean, those memes are still floating around the internet.
Okay, all right. So he came out with the heavy hitters.
I did.
Yeah, he came out with the heavy hitters. He was not playing around.
In no particular order.
And you know what? There's so many of these people out here, and all memorable characters out here. You know, I'm already with you on Fred. You know how you kid. Fred
definitely.
G Sanford. Yeah,
you big
go wrong
dummy.
with him. Yeah, definitely. But you know what? I forgot about Martin. And that just made me think about somebody else that I forgot to leave on my list. But I'm not going to bring him up because you're probably going to bring him up.
I'm about to say no bonuses.
But, okay.
No
but
bonuses.
I did forget about Martin. I ain't going to lie. I did. So, but I'm going to go with my first guy was Mr. George Jefferson. Everybody knew George and Wheezy, but, George was definitely a character, and you definitely had to pay attention to George, even though he was not that big of a guy, but he made a lot of loud noises, So George was my first guy. And then my second guy is the guy that actually introduced us to George Jefferson, Mr. Archie Bunker. Yeah.
Oh,
he's over here making all kinds of faces. But see,
not Archie.
You had to be, and it's funny because both of these guys, if it was now that Archie Bunker show came on, all the family, it probably got canceled.
Oh, yeah,
because of all the stuff that went on and all the stuff they said. You can't say half of that stuff anymore.
I know. Well, yeah, even with the Jeffersons.
The same thing with the Jeffersons.
So hold on, can you call somebody a honky on TV now or no?
Have you heard it?
I don't know.
No. They get away in the movies,
right.
but not on TV. You don't really hear it. So, but those are my first two guys.
So with that said, I actually had George Jefferson on my list.
Okay.
And I mean, I love George Jefferson, even when he was, or Sherman Hemsley, even when he was on Amen.
Mm-hmm.
He also had this movie with Don Knotts. It was like a scary movie.
Was that when he played the sheriff
I can't.
and he had the shaky gun?
I can't even remember.
Okay.
So I mean, this was a movie. This was like one of their
Yeah, it
low
was a
budget horror movies.
movie. Yeah.
Yep. So the other people I have on my list is, and you probably look at me funny. I don't know if you watched King of Queens. Kevin James is hilarious.
Yeah. He was funny. He was funny on that show. I didn't watch it when it was on.
Yeah, me neither.
But
But
in
like
the I have
the
watched
reruns?
it in reruns. Yeah,
Hilarious.
I have watched it in the reruns.
Hilarious. So
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin James, whether it's Paul Blart, Mall Cop, he has another one where he takes his wife on vacation on an airplane. But
He
anyway,
was great in Hitch.
yes,
with Will
and
Smith.
you know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
That wasn't one of my favorite ones. But
It wasn't?
No.
But he was good in it.
Yes, he was good.
He was
at
good in it. Yeah.
Yep. So Kevin James, and then this one is just a classic. I know a lot of people feel different, but Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld. I can always watch that show. Now a lot of people I know don't like it, but you know,
And that's also another show that if it was done now would probably, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Some of
yeah.
the stuff they did on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, Seinfeld had some funny episodes.
it does.
But I didn't watch it when it was on. I have watched it in the reruns, but it wasn't something that I went looking for.
Right, right.
So
Yep. So those are my next two: Seinfeld and Kevin James.
all right, I'm gonna go back a little bit again. Alexis Carrington. You ever heard that name before?
Was that Dynasty?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm impressed. You even brought that up.
Well, we talked about. Is that Diane Carroll's character?
Yeah. No, that wasn't Diane
Okay.
Carroll's character, but that was Joan Collins' character.
Okay, got it.
She was married to Blake Carrington,
Okay.
John Forsythe's character. So she was the diva on the show, So Alexis Carrington was really cool. Then my other person, you got to go with the Fonz. Arthur Fonz.
Oh wow, you took it back. You took it back to Henry Winkler.
Yeah. You gotta go with the Fonz. The Fonz was the coolest guy on TV back in the day.
I believe it.
Yeah, hey, that was the Fonz.
Had the motorcycle.
Yeah,
all the
he had
ladies.
everything. He had the women. He definitely had the women. So definitely had to go with the Fonz. Okay.
All right, so my next two I'm going to do together because I just feel like this pair is super hilarious. I don't know if you are a fan of. Damn, my mind just went blank. Hold on. Give me 1 second because it's about to come.
That's that young people's mind, y'all. That's that young people's mind.
I mean, it's just been one of them days. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Okay, I know about Curb. I watched Curb. Okay.
Larry David.
Okay.
And JB Smooth. JB Smooth.
Yeah. JB
Oh, my
Smooth is a piece
goodness.
of work. Yeah, on that show.
And every time I think about it, and I always laugh because I always think about the episode where JB Smooth was trying to get Larry to say the N-word because apparently it had slipped out somewhere before.
Yeah.
And I mean, just hilarious. But, and of course they say Larry David's the creator of Seinfeld, and I can definitely see the comparison.
Oh, yeah, he was the creator of Seinfeld and won a lot of awards because of that show for his writing. Yeah.
Right. So, JB Smooth was just, hilarious in his own right and probably doesn't get enough credit. But I will say Larry David, JB Smooth, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
All right.
That duo together.
All right. I'll give you that one. Yeah, definitely. Larry David was definitely, and JB Smooth's character on the show is really, really funny. They are. My next one was, we already talked about him, Fred G. Sanford. Yeah, I had him on my list as well. Can't go wrong with Mr. Sanford there. My next guy, Mr. J.J. Evans. course, everybody knew Kid Dynamite,
Right.
you know, so, and he's forever etched in our minds, you know. He wasn't supposed to be the star of that show, but ended up being the star of the show.
Now, who was supposed to be the star?
The mom.
Ah, okay.
Because it was a spinoff from a show called Maude, which
Gotcha.
B. Arthur was the star
Right.
of Maude, and Florida was her maid. And so they decided to do this spinoff, and so Florida was supposed to be the star, her and her husband, and JJ ended up being the breakout star of the
Gotcha.
show. You know, so, but definitely Mr. JJ Evans there. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, you know, my next two. So my next one is Terry Crews, who was the dad on Everybody Hates Chris. And, you know, he was just so memorable because he was like the cheapest, stingiest father.
He was.
You know, he's the type to squeeze two nickels together to, you know, try to make something work. So definitely think he was hilarious. And then my next person, which you already said, was George Jefferson. So, I mean, he was on my list as well.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stay old school with my next two. One's very old school. Miss Diana Prince.
No clue who you're talking about.
Ah, you don't know who Diana Prince is, huh? Diana Prince was her alias, but we knew her as Wonder Woman.
Good old Linda Carter.
Linda Carter's character, the original Wonder Woman on TV. She was, I used to run home to watch that show, you know, after practice or whatever the case may be, just to watch that show. It's kind of, when you look at it now, it's just kind of corny, you know.
No, but you want me to tell you.
But she did an excellent job.
But, you know, I'll say some of them are still not corny. So, like, I'll say Wonder Woman and Incredible Hulk, the original with Lou Ferrigno, they're definitely old school, but they don't have that corny factor. Now, Batman, something, you know, Batman.
I knew you were going to say Batman.
But you know, I think Batman aimed for that with the wham.
Well, yeah,
bop.
yeah. They definitely had a campy type corniness about it. So, but Diana Prince and Linda Carter's character, Linda Carter's portrayal of her. Well, she ended up in the most recent Wonder Woman movie.
Yes, I saw it.
You know, playing a character, playing a Wonder Woman in there.
I was about to say if they knew it was good, they should have just kept her.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that great of a movie. So, the other one is Julia Baker. I know you don't know who Julia Baker is. Julia Baker was a nurse on a TV show called Julia, played by Diane Carroll. The very first show that had a black lead on TV. So that was a big thing back in the day because no other TV show had a black lead before, lead actor. And so that was very big for us back then when it happened. So, you know, and the show stayed on for a few years. I mean, it wasn't a one, you know, they didn't just give it a one-hit wonder type treatment. It stayed on for a few years. So, but that was a good show. So Julia Baker was her name on the show.
Okay, so my next two, I definitely got to go with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, that might have been one of the first shows I watched consistently when it came on. Like, you know, I kind of missed the whole Cosby thing because I think sports. But, you know, I think as far as like catching this show when it came on, whatever its time slot, you know, just a Fresh Prince. And I don't know, you know, I kind of compare it to Martin, but not as much. There's probably not an episode of The Fresh Prince I have not seen. So, like, when it comes on, you know how it comes on and be like, okay, you know, I kind of know what happens. So, you know, I definitely give it to Will Smith, The Fresh Prince.
And it's funny because I think I've seen all of those episodes as well as all of Martin's.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like those are just two shows. Anytime they come on, you know, you can just watch them from beginning to end.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, half the time you already know what's going to happen. You're just waiting for that part.
Yeah.
The next one, this one used to have me in my room saying, I'm going to get you, sucker. none other than the good old Mr. T from what's his name, Baracus something.
Yeah, the 18.
Yeah, the 18,
Yeah.
Mr. T, and of course if you're familiar with the 18,
Yeah,
you know
it was BA. It was
B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, because Bad Attitude was his name. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, Mr. T. I mean, I never really wanted gold chains, but you know, and a mohawk.
I don't know how he walked with all them chains on. You know, so.
But I mean, you know, I definitely say those two people, Mr. T, and you know, even when they remade the 18 in the last couple of years, it just wasn't the same.
No,
Yeah.
it was a different
Yeah.
show. I'm so mad because I'm sitting here and Leonard threw two names at me that I just totally left off my list.
I mean, I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm so mad about that. You know, so you did that. You got me on those two names.
Yeah.
He threw the Fresh Prince at me and Martin. Now, how could I not have both of those guys on my list?
Right.
But I didn't. So you got me there.
All right, well, pay up.
All right, I'm getting ready to come at you. My next one simply goes by the name Omar from The Wire. Okay, and you know Michael Williams played that. Michael K. Williams played that part. We recently lost him this past year. That was one of the guys we mentioned on our last show. But this guy, man's character on this show was that of a modern day Robin Hood thug-like person that was also gay, and everybody in the neighborhood was scared of this dude, man. When people saw him come down the street, they said, Omar's coming. The street would clear out. I mean, that's how bad this dude was. And he played it to the hilt. Omar. What better name for a gangster? But that was definitely one of my favorite guys. The next one, also a gangster, Mr. Tony Soprano. Did you watch The Sopranos?
I saw bits and pieces.
Oh boy, this guy! I got.
I didn't have HBO
I'm trying,
at the time.
folks.
I didn't have HBO at the time.
Now this guy is grew up semi-rich. You know, he didn't have
Did?
HBO.
I about to say I grew up. We didn't have cable or VCR growing up.
Really?
Nah, because my dad wasn't.
Well, that's
TV
because y'all would
watcher.
just get on the phone and call the real actors to come to your house and perform it in your living room. That's right. Yeah, that's what happened. So don't let them fool you, folks. You know, don't let them fool you. So, but anyway, Tony Soprano, he was a character. He was a character, but he was definitely a much-watched TV on Sunday nights. So yeah, definitely The Sopranos. I'm gonna throw in a couple guys that I wanted to put on our list, but didn't. And one just popped into my mind too, since he threw up the Fresh Prince and Martin at me. I got to put in Jamie King character on the Jamie Foxx show.
Right.
Of course, he kind of falls into that line with the Fresh Prince and Martin,
Right.
you know. So I got to throw him in there. One of my other guys is Mr. Hank Voigt on Chicago PD. I know you don't watch any of the Chicago shows because he don't know anything. But Hank is the meanest cop on TV, you know. So Mr. Stringer Bell, Idris Elba on The Wire. That's when everybody was introduced to him,
Right.
You know. And he was the businessman drug dealer on the show. You know, he was dressed in suits all the time. He was smooth. You know, he had it going on. Mr. Spencer James, All American. Yeah, I know you watch All American,
Yeah, I
right?
did.
Yeah. I had to throw him in there because that's something. That's another one of my favorite shows. They got a spinoff coming. Did you see that? Yeah,
Nah,
but
I haven't.
The coach's son, his girlfriend went off to college. Now she's getting her own show.
Okay, so what's this, like grownish?
Yeah. But you know, she went to
Yeah.
HBCU school and
Gotcha.
so forth. You know, and then the last one that we didn't mention, that we have to mention because his character was pretty well known, Mr. Stephen Urkel. You know, or as we call him, Urkel.
Right.
You know, so
Jaleel White.
Yeah, Mr. Jaleel White. You know, now you're talking about somebody that was only supposed to be on the show one time for one episode,
Right, and became the
and
star.
became the star of the show for 10 years.
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. You know,
Right.
You know, they really did not like him.
Oh, you know, the cast members?
Yeah, the cast member really didn't like. They really resented the fact because remember the mother on the show, that was also a spinoff from Bosom Buddies. Remember that show, Bosom Buddies? Mm-hmm. And she got that show because of that. And so her and the husband were established actors, Reginald Vell Johnson, were established actors. They were supposed to be the stars of the show, and here comes this little kid that steals the show. And they really did not like him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so so those are my guys. Anybody you want to add on there, you know?
Nah, so I mean, no one else came to mind. When you were talking, I did think about Urkel. Yeah. And other than that, I mean, if I had to go back, I may say Rerun from What's Happening, just because you know everyone was trying to do that rerun dance.
Yeah, the rerun dance. Yeah.
I mean, that's probably.
But you know what's strange though? What have you noticed about our list? Something that's in common with both our lists.
I don't know. Tell me.
We're the women. I'll put 2 on mine. So what does that say?
What I'm
well, I actually had I had 2 on mine. I had 3. I had 3. So, but you didn't.
So I probably put people that I could just directly relate to. Safe answer. that right there is my safe answer. Nah, and I mean, there's plenty of women, but I guess when I was thinking, I was specifically thinking.
But men pop up automatically.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the shows have been focused around men, except the Golden Girls. I mean, the Golden Girls were, but you had 4 women. You could name all 4 of them, really. Right.
And I mean, to be honest, if we want to think about it, I probably watch shows that cater to men, so those are the leads. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like if we had a woman here, which we do plan on having, some guests come on, soon. But I'm sure they would pick the shows they watch, because I even thinking like the cartoons. If we talk about cartoons, I'm G.I. Joe, Transformers, GoBots. Where if we had a lady here, she'd probably say My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake, Jim.
Yeah, I know.
So I
Powerpuff Girls or something like that.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but it is interesting though that we tend to relate to the men-led shows though. When you think about it, because when I did my list, I had a bunch of men on it, and I said, "Oh man, I gotta go back and put some women on this list because I'm not gonna get hung out like my partner just got hung out out there." So, so I wanted to make sure I put some women on the list. So I wanted to. If you guys think of any other ones that we missed, feel free to put it in our chat area, in our comment section. And you are listening to Newz and Trendz with Dave and Lynn. Anything you want to add there, young guy?
Nah, I just want to say there's so many shows with so many great women that I love, but I just wasn't able to listen down here.
Put those comments out there, folks. I got 3 on my list. I'm just letting y'all know. I got 3.
Well, hold on. So, okay, with that said, let me think of something real quick. So, I did mention one that I always think of, D from What's Happening, because she's always like, "Where my money? Where my money? Where my money?"
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, of course, Shanae. I mean, like that.
Well, you got Gina from Martin.
I really didn't like Gina though.
Oh, you didn't?
Nah.
What about Pam? Did you like Pam?
I like Pam a little bit more, But,
okay. What about Queen Latifah's character? What about Living Single? You had all the women on.
Yeah, I mean there were, but none of them were like that.
None of them stood out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
I don't know.
Look. You hear what's going on, guys?
Right. In fact, let's just move on from that topic. I don't feel like I'm making myself look too good. But anyway.
Look.
Wrapping up.
This is my partner there.
Wrapping up.
But anyway, like I said, if you guys have any further thoughts, feel free to put them in the comment section when you get a chance, okay? We want to thank you for taking the time to listen to our weekend roundup. And we hope to talk to you guys next week. And just keep it in mind. Tell your friends that we are doing this every week, Tuesday nights live at
around 6
o'clock on Tuesday nights, and then we also do the roundup every Friday night around 6 o'clock. So this always make sure you tune in and just let us know what you're thinking, what your thoughts are. Thank you for listening to Newz and Trendz with Dave and Len. Have a great weekend.
We out.
Tune in next week, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of Newz and Trendz with your hosts, Dave and Len.